God will put people in your path to help you.
Yeah.
You are the people for my family and I.
Amen.
And I want to say thank you.
Verdict is as follows. In the Superior Court of Glenn County, State of Georgia, the State of Georgia versus Travis McMichael, case number CR 000433. Jury verdict form. Count 1, malice murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Travis McMichael, guilty. In the Superior Court of Glenn County, the State of Georgia versus Greg McMichael, case number CR 2000433. Count 2, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, Greg McMichael, guilty. In the Superior Court of Glenn County, State of Georgia versus William R. Bryan, case number CR 2000433. Count 3, felony murder. We, the jury, find the defendant, William R. Bryan, guilty. Signed this 24th day of November by the foreperson.
And God is good. And God is good all the time.
All the time.
Could you please say his name?
Ahmad Aubrey.
Say his name.
Ahmad Aubrey.
Last time.
Ahmad Aubrey.
Thank you guys. I love you.
Good afternoon. I'm Reginal Drummer, the peopleologist, and welcome to another episode of We Are Ready. I'm a contributing voice over here at Square Mile Media, Atlanta. And tonight, we got a powerful show. You know what we do over here? We say we have to stay ready so we don't have to get ready. A lot of times we're focusing on anything that we can do to prepare ourselves, our families, and our communities, to put ourselves into a position where we don't have to compromise who we are and what we do. We spend a lot of time talking about survival, whether it's a man-made disaster or whether it's something that's going on in your neighborhood. But tonight is very special. We're talking about racism and justice, systematic racism in particular, and just us in this just for us justice system. And if you look at the tape earlier of Ahmaud Arbery, we call his name, down in Brunswick, we got favorable results in the just us system. And the question we will ask tonight, amongst other questions, how do you look at this justice system as a Black man here in America? And what do you see as far as things to do in the future when it comes to this system? But tonight I'm joined by a panel of brothers. and sisters, and I'm gonna let them go around and introduce themselves. Brothers, welcome to the We Are Ready session. Y'all, welcome to the War Room. How you feeling tonight?
Good evening.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
How's everybody doing? Yeah, doing great.
Man, it's awesome. And I think we'll be joined by Miss Thomas a little bit later. She's trying to get in, but we got a whole plethora of brothers here and sisters here. But we'll start, and if I can go in the corner, Brother Leonard, each brother just give a little 30-second introduction about yourself, who you are, what you do, and that type of stuff before we start chopping it up, okay?
Yes, sir. My name is Leonard Jones. I'm the national spokesperson for New Order National Human Rights Organization. Our president is Mr. Gerald Rose, and we work with various issues. We're stationed right out here. Our headquarters are out here in Marietta, Georgia. And what we do is we support the community on various fronts as it relates to civil issues. It could be criminal issues, mentoring, feeding the homeless, and all these types of things in the community, just to stand by those individuals in need. And that is our mission, and that is what we do.
Thank you, brother. Brother Eric Morton, how you doing, sir?
Great, drummer. How are you? Good evening. Eric Morton here, Representative Dads on Duty, Atlanta, Georgia, as a trainer in production and trainer as also in safety out there and stuff. And Dads on Duty, we work with getting the men ready in the community so that they can be better fathers for their families. We help them just learn some things that happen in life so that they can start understanding that they are not alone in this world and that they have other brothers out here who are trying to be better men and better fathers for their families as well. So just want to say that.
Thank you. I think we got Brother Osborne Dennis. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. Appreciate the opportunity, Mr. Drummer. My name is Osborne Dennis. I am the CEO and founder of 321 Stop Bullying. Just an anti-bullying nonprofit organization. We go around speaking life and showing love to the kids, just showing them that no matter what they're going through, that they're not alone. And we give back to the community, book bag drives, feeding the homeless, just trying to be an inspiration to the kids so that they don't go through life making the wrong decisions that will land them in the wrong places.
Thank you, sir. Brother Ray Jones, how you doing, brother?
Yes, indeed. Ray Jones with ADOS Atlanta and Hood Heroes TV. With ADOS Atlanta, we pushing for reparations and a black agenda through advocating on the political level. And with Hood Heroes TV, I shine a spotlight on heroes in the community. So I'm very blessed and honored to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is that Brother Nate?
Hey,
what's up, Brother Nate?
Hey, what's going on, brother? How's
doing
everybody
great.
doing? My name's Nathaniel Dyer. I have a youth organization called Kids First. We do a lot of advocacy around education, where if you're not doing right by the young people, try to get you fired or removed. We've had several protests and rallies to save schools, which we felt would usher in gentrification as it stands now. And I recently had a court case at the Supreme Court level dealing with free speech and 14th Amendment.
Thank you, Brother Nate. Brother James, is that James Stigert? Is that Brother Steve?
I'm here.
What's up, Brother Steve? Introduce yourself. Give him a 30-seconder.
Okay, Brother Steve Smith, one of the members of Dads on Duty, a campaign that's been consistent called I'm Worth Waiting For, Self-Esteem and Abstinence Campaign. And we preach nothing but conventional education, pre-K through 12, as well as financial education. We take you out of the abyss and let you see the sunlight.
Thank you, brother. And then Brother Reggie.
Gentlemen, how are you? Reggie Middlebrooks here. So I'm from the other side, guys. I work in the community, but I'm also in law enforcement. So hey, but happy to be here. And any questions you guys got and anything we can discuss openly, because although that pays my salary, I do understand the systemic racism that goes on, that happens to us daily.
Thank you, brother. And I think we got Brother James Stiggett. He dropped. Well, he'll probably join us in a minute or two. But one of the things tonight, fellas, and we got to give yourselves a round of applause when we talk about systematic racism here in America and the Just Us system. And we just don't go right into it. One of the things we try to bring out and bring it clear, America's done a great job through the education system, the religious system, the political system of indoctrinating us and putting a system together that we participate in no matter what. From the first time you engage with the justice system, it can determine what your future may look like. And what I mean by that, if you don't address certain things early or stay out of that system or have the right representation, that system can cause you a lot of harm. So one of the first questions I guess we could ask, and we're gonna go into Ahmad's case as well, because we just saw some justice being served, and that justice, we could count that as a win. But like most things, one win doesn't mean that it's over. The same day Ahmad killers were tried, and and the verdict was put out all over America, there were over 70, 80 other cases of Black and brown people with unfair legal and situation. So just coming in there, brothers. I know we got a lot of brothers in there, but if you could share something, we'll start in any corner. How do you feel about the justice system right now?
See,
I
gentlemen, do you guys see this book?
Yes.
As a law enforcement officer, they teach us to operate within the color of the law, meaning that there are certain things that we have to do according to the color of the law. And ultimately, when it comes to dealing with us Black and brown people, because I've been on the other side of the white officer harassing me till he figured out who I was. And gentlemen, yeah, what, like you said, Drummer, that one guilty on those guys, they had enough video evidence that they really didn't need to have a trial. But we were still nervous about what was going to go on with it. So us gentlemen in this chat room, in this YouTube, gentlemen, we gotta get busy and stay busy. And like Reggie said, we can't be getting ready. We gotta already be ready, because the systemic racism is there. And the system that they set up is doing exactly what is it designed to do. It wants us to operate in the color of the law when the system was set up for us to be failures. You understand? And I've seen it for the last 25 years.
Great point there, Brother Reggie. Anybody? Brother Dennis? Anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to chime in. I think that's a
Okay.
great point that Reggie brought up. And it's beautiful that we have inside information, because we all are, in my opinion, as Black people, we're aware of the systematic process that goes on. But when do we put the pieces together to knock a hole in it? And, here we are in 2021, about to be 2022, dealing with the same old thing. So are we getting weaker, or is the system getting stronger? In my opinion, the system's not changing. We're getting softer. We're not the ones holding people accountable. We're not protecting our children like the Ahmad. Even though he may be 17, 18, that boy probably like 13, 14 functionally. And in this education system that we have now, that's the main place where a lot of this, the culture of ignorance and violence comes from. And I've seen it where here in Atlanta, these people deliberately taught the children nothing as relates to that cheating scandal. People thought it was the erasure of answers. Nah, they did that because they knew they were going to get paid. So why take a child on a field trip? Why teach that boy to read? The population that's out there now don't have skills to be employed. So you see a great deal of violence across the city. If you go back 2009, so let's just move, bringing it to the situation about the white men. We got to put a protective covering over our young people, our future generations, regardless of the race. How can you say Black Lives Matter when in our backyard there's a whole lot of gunplay going on? So we look like the biggest hypocrites. So I'm just saying I'm willing to jump in, partner, do whatever it takes, because I realize my life is not my own. You may have wished that none of this happens, but it's on our shoulders to really bring account as to what's going on and prepare a place for our future generations.
Again, gentlemen, I don't want to dominate, but Eric, you name your organization is called Dads on Duty. And I was on the Loving Leanne show last weekend, and we talked about that every time a phone call goes out for our children in the school, the educators are saying we're going to call your mother. So I think with all of us men on here, we've got to, Eric, help support you in getting dads on duty. You understand what I'm saying? Because this, listen, John, forgive me, it aggravates the hell out of me that I put that badge on and I go out here and say I'm gonna protect and serve. And that's the biggest lie ever been told. What I'm gonna do is to continue the cycle of the systemic racism that goes on in our neighborhood. Man, and all police officers are not bad. They are not. But it's not the police officers that's doing it. It's a collaboration of the court system and the police, where our children get charged with, example, Eric, you, black man, me, white guy, both of us get charged with white collar crimes. I get to go home. I get to make restitution. I don't lose my license to be a financial consultant. You go to jail. Do you understand what I'm saying? And right. A lot of that is that I don't think that we have to become part of the political process, because a lot of our young men are getting indicted. And when I go to the grand jury, none of us are on the grand jury.
And that's something we want to, that's going to be part of the solution part there, Brother Reggie. But you just hold that thought, but that's part of the solution right there. Brother Eric, chime in here a little bit, your experience.
Well, and Reggie's got a key critical point here, and this is one of the things that we have to teach our people in the community, especially the men and the women as well, is to be a part of it by, number one, like they said, registering to vote. You can't change anything if you're not a part of it, if you can't register to vote. And then not only that, know what's going on with the people you're supporting. Know what they're trying to do and what they're not doing. Like you hear the mayoral race here in Atlanta that's going on. You've got to know what Felicia's doing. You got to know what the other gentleman is doing, and not just follow them simply because they look like you. So get engaged and learn what's going on. Be a part of it. Understand where you vote at. Understand how to keep your registration current. Small things like this is just a starting point on the solutions that we're talking about doing. But I want to get into a couple things here. Reggie's a police officer, and that's a great thing. And I just want to say that knowing that you see that there's a problem in the system of things, I'm just curious to find out, Reggie, what do you think we can do to start to change things from a perspective? That would be one of my just questions right there, because I think we've got the knowledge of people that are aware, but everybody's doing a different part, and that's a good thing, because all of us, we can do our part, and that's what I hope we do with Dads on Duty, is get men ready to be a part of the solution.
Well, the first thing is that the gentleman here, like Mr. Osborne, the bullying, as a collective whole, we have to go and we have to talk to the decision makers in the law enforcement community and say, hey, wait, why is it that in Buckhead, somebody gets shot and there are 13 officers that respond, and they're there and they got the crime scene tape. But it happens in Southwest Atlanta, Allison Court, where the little girl got shot last week. One of our little sisters, the little 7-year-old girl that got shot over on Allison Court. And the crime scene was cleared in 2 hours, and the detectives haven't been back out there to follow back up. Why is that? And we have to hold these people accountable because it's not right. And I'm not an angry black man. I'm just telling you that I see it, and it's not right. That young girl's lives matter in Southwest Atlanta just as much as the guy in Buckhead. And when we hold these people accountable, it becomes a better situation. Like the chief of police in Atlanta, no disrespect to the brother, shouldn't be there. And I say that from personal knowledge, that the young lady that they ran off, the white female, was doing a much better job as it related to us. That she made those officers be accountable. She took the internal affairs complaint serious. She held these officers to a higher standard. Now we get one of ours in there, and it's, oh, we'll deal with it later. We'll deal with it later. Because here's the $64,000 question. Are they laying drag in Fayetteville?
Say it again.
Do they lay drag in Fayetteville? Are they out there doing the drag racing and
Oh, no.
Okay. Are they doing it in Douglasville?
No.
Okay. Clayton County?
Mm-mm.
Okay. City of Atlanta, they doing it. And the problem is that on one side, we want law and order, and on the other side, we don't want law enforcement. And it can't be one, it can't be this way or that way. We kind of do the police department like we do hoes, and forgive my language, but when we need the police, hey, we want you here, but we don't want you to do your job. And then when we don't want them, we want them out the way.
Right. Well, I guess, and I know, and Brother Ray, Brother Dennis, Brother Leonard, I know you guys are involved a lot of times through the political process, and police and law enforcement. What are you guys seeing out there? What's happening in your world?
Well, definitely listening to the comments, we have to understand what's the real issues that we have to confront, because there are various people fighting for various different things. And what we need to do is we need to reinforce these various positions. We were talking about mental health at one point. That's a part of that puzzle. And then you have our brother here that works with law enforcement, who I'm sure does a great job. And it has great intentions, but he works within a system that has gone astray. So, as he mentioned before, you can boast about having a black mayor all day, but does the black mayor control the police chief? Is that mayor that you voted for, are they into actually changing the culture of that organization? Or is it just a bunch of hype? You can tell by the initiatives. We need eyes on this new force that has just been created, which seems to be the former Red Dog Unit type situation, if you all remember, which is what created the ACRB.
Right.
Shout out to the ACRB. Still need to be doing what they need to do.
Right.
We need access to those records of those officers that have been handling themselves, and they should be wrote up for certain things. We don't even know that sometimes when we're questioning who's actually policing. How well do you really know your police force and their actual agenda?
Exactly.
It is not what you assume it is. And I think that's why you're clashing and bumping heads in communities, really. Because some people believe that the police are the bad guys. There's some good reasoning for that. But this brother right here can explain to you why that's really not the truth. And how do we change that? Like, say, for instance, big shout out to the solicitor here in Gwinnett County. And as activists, we fought against things in Gwinnett County against that DA that was there before.
Porter.
It is, yes, Danny Porter. This is amazing what is going on in Gwinnett County right now in terms of leadership in law enforcement, because now you have a person that is actually concerned about change as the district attorney. And then you have a solicitor who comes out now and says, we're not going to be expending resources on pursuing these minor misdemeanor type issues as they relate to marijuana and what have you. That is huge. A huge change of perspective when it comes to power. Power being police. From that point of view, we talk about that once you touch that system, you're labeled now. You know, you're black. However, are you a wealthy person or are you poor? If you're poor, it is not designed to provide a defense for you. And so you have to remember that. The system is not set up to provide you with the best defense that you need. So if you think about that, you will begin to focus, okay, what's more important? Like the one brother said, we can't be riding dirty, because, you know, that's how we get caught a lot of times. And just something as simple as insurance and things like, if you're poor, you can't pay them prices. And so you still got to go where you got to go. But that system is set up to catch poor people who can't defend themselves. And so you have to be cognizant of that when you choose your careers, choose your direction, where you want to go, what areas you want to live in. Maybe you want to become a part of government. That's excellent. We have to encourage young people to be the police, to be the mayor, to be the political person that represents their area. It's more to it than athletics and sports entertainment. We have to be mindful of government as a priority first, as opposed to just making a couple dollars.
Yeah, and Brother Leonard, that's a good point. You know, getting involved, whether it be on whatever level we can get involved with, especially men in the community. And I know Brother Ray and Brother Osborne, y'all are out there, some younger brothers out there putting that work in. What are you seeing out there? What are you doing?
Well, I work with the youth doing bully prevention. So many problems stem from bullying that it's more than just taking lunch money. You got the high school dropout rate at an all-time high, drug usage, gang activity on the rise because kids have become victims of bullying. But my thing is accountability. I did 6.5 years in prison from state to federal. And I understand that the system isn't fair. So my whole thing is to try to cut it off before they get in the system that we know isn't fair. No, to be honest, I don't think it'll ever be fair for us, you know. To be honest with you, I don't think it'll ever be fair. But my whole thing is to help them make wise decisions right now, not even to go down that road. And it starts with the person in the mirror. It starts in our own community. Like the brother said, sometimes people want a police when it's convenient for them. Everybody knows what's going on in their own neighborhood already. You know who the troublemakers are. Yeah, you can blame the mayor. You can even go back and blame Donald Trump. But I went to prison because I decided to sell drugs. Accountability. You know, if someone is in your family or someone right there, even in your household, deal with that problem. You know, deal with that problem. Deal with that issue right there at hand before it get all the way to the system. Because, like I said, we already know that the system isn't fair. I don't think it ever will be fair for the black man. So we just got to cut it off at the head.
Right. And that's a good thing. I know we got some questions out there. Before I get back to you, Brother Ray, I know people have been asking, and they were saying that in the audience, yeah, it's illegal to be poor in America. You will get a part of this system. And one of the questions, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the trials and then different things that have been going on. But one of the questions that came, thank you, brother. I think that's Brother James out there. He said, "Did you think that the people showing up in Brunswick at the courthouse had an impact on that verdict?" And I go straight to you, Brother Ray,
Mm-mm.
because that goes back to participation. When people see you participating, they have a tendency to treat you a little bit better. Did you see anything like that, especially with this trial that just came out with Ahmad down in Brunswick?
Absolutely. Me and the brother went down there. And yeah, it was a lot of us down there, and definitely that played a major role. And I'm glad the brother held up the book, The Color of Law, because yes, we need to know law, and we also need to enforce justice. And how do you do that? By showing up. By we need to vet and groom our representatives as well, and give them a litmus test of non-negotiables, that before they even get our support, they have to be advocating for us specifically. And also, I like what the brother said about self-accountability. We have to hold ourselves accountable in many ways. Look at this panel, though, y'all. We have a brother in education. We got law enforcement. We got mentors. We got the brother dealing with bullying in school. We literally have all the pieces right now. All we have to do is put the pieces together, have a certain framework, and do the work that we're already doing individually. You know? So it needs to be a brother in the political system dealing with the school board that knows what our people need, that can actually coordinate with law enforcement. There should be a school to policing pipeline from the APS.
Mm.
Should be a school to firefighter pipeline, you know? So I know that we have pathways for our students, but we got to advocate for our people to make sure that there are plugs to the outlets, like I said before, to where our youth can come out and have those jobs on the other side. So it's a lot of work that needs to be done. Yes, we need an army of mentors. We're going to have to literally go back in the community and show these brothers that there are other ways to be prosperous. You don't have to do dirt, you know, but we got to show it and not just talk down to them, have those good conversations. So as far as the law is concerned, as far as the case is concerned, yes, our activity played a major role in them people being off. But that's why it was only one, like I said, it was only one person that was on the jury. So we got to make sure that we're doing those things that some might not see as cool, but yeah, we got to do jury duty, because it might be the difference between a brother being locked up for life and 3 races going to jail for the rest of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to just chime in reference to that, because I think too, one of the things I think the people showing up definitely help, but I also think that understanding the charges and what they were charged with and what what the defense was. Let me say that, because they were trying to come off initially saying that, oh, they were doing what they call a citizen's arrest, and Brother Reggie, the police officer can probably give some clarity on that. Now, if I'm understanding this right, if they were going to make this claim that they were making a citizen's arrest, they would to have had to have witnessed a crime that someone did. Am I right? Am I right, Brother Reggie?
Yeah. So what happens is, me and you in the store.
Mm-hmm.
You see me put it under my shirt. Immediately, you have knowledge. You confront me, and I flee. You can pursue me because you have knowledge, but because it's a misdemeanor, you can't. Let me back up. Misdemeanor, you see me commit a misdemeanor crime and I get away from you, you can't chase me because it's a misdemeanor under the old law. If it's a felony, you can pursue me and make a citizen's arrest because you have knowledge of it.
Now, you said felony, and you said witnessing that.
Right.
Now, let's hold that. They were trying to claim initially that they thought, not witness, they thought. Mind you, they thought he had committed something because of past stuff. They did not see him directly. with anything, that he was supposedly, he was on somebody's property, but he was not found with anything in his hand. The video clearly shows him out running, jogging. So this is the key points about that case that to me shouldn't, just what you're saying. I don't know how it even went to trial. You making claims here. You basically detain somebody and they end up dying on your watch. You're responsible for them.
Yeah,
period.
but you killed a man for doing something that every one of us on this panel have done. We have gone into, when we see a new subdivision, how many of us have gone, man, I like this. When we see these big houses being built, we go look.
I still do it.
But here's the thing.
Right.
I on a little sidebar, I'll bet you that guy, the father, the son that was laying on the sofa, I bet you wish he had kept his ass on the sofa. Because his daddy came and got him and said, hey, let's go.
Let's go. Hey, but
see, and then there go the other part of the law. It can't be reported to you. Eric, I can't say, hey, Eric, I just saw him do this. And then me and you go over here and jump on him.
Right.
Right. I can't report it to you. Both of us, if we're going to make a citizen's arrest, have to witness it. If it's a felony, we have to follow him. And as we're following him, guess the other component of that?
Call the police as to let them know what we're doing. Am I wrong?
Right. You got to say, I got to.
Hey, but fellas, again,
to enforce a citizen's arrest, you still got to have a law enforcement officer.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
But again, systematic racism, because you see a black man doing something that you think is wrong, you empower yourself immediately to be the law. So these are things that are indoctrinated into the mindsets of people. When we go into courtroom and we talk to white privilege, when we talk to people and you say, well, because I've been in stores where a young man was stealing. I said, brother, I'll pay for that. Or I say, you don't want to be stealing that. And these folk got guns and stuff like that. But for me to feel privileged and then think that I don't have anything to worry about, that's systematic racism. So with us here and all the things that all of us are doing, we see it. I know no matter where you go, you see signs of systematic racism that's built in. I know, Brother Leonard, you had asked about something called CASA, C-A-S-A. But when we look across the board, they got stuff already built. And the brother said earlier, traps. And if we don't train, empower, and mobilize and educate our people about these traps, they will get caught up. And if we don't prepare our people to be more engaged, whether it be in the police department, jury duty, become lawyers, become prosecutors, become educators, because some of the people that are there need to be replaced. They just don't need to reform the police. They almost have to reform the whole neighborhood. So any of you brothers can get in there and just chime in on about what are you looking at? Because we got to look at this whole component, which is the black community. The same day that Ahmaud, the guys, the murderers were charged with those crimes, we had a robust amount of crimes in our own neighborhood. And then they flash that across the news, then that makes us look subhuman again. But that's part of systematic racism, where they show and document us doing bad behavior, and then just like the lady did in the jury, bringing up the race card to make it look like you in there stealing, you done did so much damage, until the people felt that, hey, if they had listened to the story and it had not gone to judgment, or we had not seen the video, there would have been one young brother word against 3 white males that believed in white supremacy. And also, so go ahead,
Drummer. What we have to I'll go back to that CASA, which is what I mentioned in the chat. But we have to look at the bigger picture as it relates to the bias of the matter. And citizens arrest is one of those issues that, one, we question from New Order. For the very simple fact, we need to remove citizens of arrest because it is implicit bias within that law itself. Because, one, how many black men do you know use this defense? I don't know any black men who have ever claimed citizens arrest for anything.
No.
Okay, so this is how you know why the law has a problem in this particular section. Because of the reason why it was created. It was always meant to be used as an excuse for white people to kill blacks in their neighborhood. That's what citizens, basically, that's it. I don't need Johnny down the street. Now he got to come and try to determine whether I'm committing a felony or a misdemeanor. He ain't been to nobody's school.
Exactly.
We can barely trust those that we've given badges to.
Mm.
But see, this was a common practice among white people to be able to immediately deputize everybody white to oppress everybody black. That's what's implicit in the citizens arrest law. Because one, never do I ever want to be in a situation where I have to detain any of you brothers. I don't work for the state. So what gives me the authority, first of all, to assume that you're breaking one of the government's laws and that I have a right to detain you? This is the flip it over, and this is why this boy walked out of this courthouse after shooting those people. For this very reason. It's because some people, and there's also some statistics that go with it when it relates to the victim being black. There's some very surprising statistics.
Now you have had some brothers claim self-defense in winning situations. So I hear what you say.
But they use citizens arrest as an engagement tool.
Right.
Because they know that the court that they go to will try to find a way to make it just what they did. Because remember, these people somehow believe they have the authority of the state to detain Brother Morton or Brother Jones or anybody.
Right. Well,
they don't like.
This goes back to slavery.
Exactly.
As early as 1863, once the slaves were freed, especially in the South, they said, you know what? We're going to deputize anybody white.
Exactly.
No. That was anybody white had the authority to question anybody black to say they didn't even have to ask, were you free? They will hold you until somebody said, well, that's a free man. If nobody said you was a free man, they were given the right to detain you. So, and then that's really how that whole justice system started to unfold.
No, wait, it gets better, gentlemen. Do you know currently in the state of Georgia, if either one of you guys get elected to the state legislature, let's say you're representing Fulton County and you're in the state legislature, do you know what happens to you? You're automatically deputized as a deputy in the county in which you live in.
Okay.
With the qualified immunity, by the way.
Now? Yeah. If you get elected to the state legislator, Eric Morton, you become state legislator, Eric Morton, deputized as a deputy in the county in which you live. So
and I have no legal background. I have no legal understanding of what I can do with.
Wait, and it gets better. Remember when Trump was talking about making martial law?
Ooh.
Hey, if that happened, you become a law enforcement officer with no training
instantly.
You see how that works?
Well, that's what Greg McMichael said. He had no authority, but he immediately said, "I used to work for the county," and he considered himself to be God Almighty in that area.
Yeah, because
his neighborhood. Now that's an empowerment. You know that it's hard for us to fathom that because here. And, you know, this is old rural Georgia. These guys really believed that they were going to walk. Exactly. They made a video Because if you look at the video, these guys are saying, yeah, you see what I did? Everything's clear and straight by the book.
Wait, man, the guy, they let them go back home, and
Yeah,
Robbie
wash
went
your
back
hands.
home and started doing yard work.
Right. Yeah, wash
I'm
your
gonna say,
hands.
I hope y'all
Wait,
run.
Drummer.
I hope you run. But
Wait,
see, they
Drummer.
don't even run.
But hey,
Go ahead.
do you know if that had been and one of you, that Georgia law states that anytime there is a homicide, that you are automatically taken into custody
Should be.
for 8 hours, and it is given to a district attorney. Wait,
Right.
if the district attorney has a person,
Unless you know them like they did.
wait, if you have a personal relationship with them,
Woo.
immediately the GBI is to come in and take
Right.
over. We see it every day because there's an officer involved shooting in Clayton County. Then under it, what does the little thing say on Twitter? GBI is en route. It only took them 70 some odd days. Wait, the police came, investigated, looked at it, and for 70 days, nothing happened. The GBI was there for a day, and the next day they were getting warrants and indictments.
I just want to say this: if you want to know how deep this goes, do y'all remember the John Benet Ramsey case here that happened some years back?
Yeah,
The little girl, yeah.
Now, mind you, this girl died in her parents' house on like a Tuesday. They was in Denver by Friday. They left the state and they just had a murder in their house of their daughter. Now tell me, any one of you on there, somebody die in your house, you leaving town that week?
That day.
Money talk.
Hey, man. Hey, but listen.
Money talk.
Let's bring, but hey, let's on a sidebar, check this one out. Look at the University of Georgia football players. They have charged, this young man was going to be number 5 in the draft this year. Number 5 in the draft. Now, all of us are men, and no disrespect to the ladies that are out here that are listening to us. She say she woke up and he was inside of her. Now, I understand that I got daughters, and if it happened, I'm gonna be the judge during execution. I got a shovel, I got a knife, I got a gun, and I got an alibi. So, but how does that happen? The brother was ranked to go number 5 in the draft. But let me show you UGA. The brother is a senior, right? The man wear number 19. Did y'all not see they done gave that boy number to the white boy that wore it in the game yesterday?
Whoa.
Hey, man, again, Joe, I ain't no mad black man by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying, it don't sound, you woke up and he was inside of you. He went.
Well, again, we see the unfairness of this just a system, and we have to look at ways in which we can engage. We have to become more involved. When you look at what happened down in Glenn County, with the whole thing off the rip because of systematic racism, that community, they was watching videos of this for 70 days.
Yeah.
Like they had a channel just like this for 70 days. They watched that video and everybody believed that he, because of the old man, Michael, he ruled that area, I guess, in his head, and they believed that his story. They didn't question it, but justice did come up, and it's because of participation of people.
It would have never happened like that easily if that clown, that fool, would not have recorded the crime that he.
They would have never.
He thought that was his alibi.
They wouldn't have never
thought that was his alibi.
Luckily, he was dumb as a box of bricks.
Oh yeah, he should. Yeah. They should have charged him with aggravated stupidity. That's what they should have got him for.
But
but
but again, guys, and I know Brother Nate, you coming in there, and Brother Dennis, I don't know if James and Steve are still there, but what can we do? Just like the athlete, we have to talk to our young people. We have to educate our young people. Most of us are seasoned enough to know some of these traps. When I talk to young brothers, like I pull them to the side and we've done it. I said, brother, and this route, this mouse trap already set. Okay.
And it's gonna close.
And it's gonna snap.
Yeah,
now,
but the problem is if she can't use a straightening comb, he shouldn't have been bringing her home. Y'all know.
Right, yeah. But we have to catch our youth early. I know, but any suggestions that we can do, because just like I said, time those 3 murderers were charged, we had over 70 other situations across the United States, death of Black and brown people. I mean, within a day.
Listen,
we also had before that.
We got a brother
within the system. There were when you get, just say you do make it to jail, you don't get killed, and they do lock you up in the jail. I think here in DeKalb, 6 Black folk are indicted for killing an inmate, and then another for starving an inmate, and then another for refusing to give an inmate medication. So when you look at this system, and sometimes it's because we don't know, nobody's telling us. I know a lot of you from New Order, ADOS, brothers are in the jails, the dads on duty going and checking on brothers, letting people know their rights. Because if you don't know your rights at an early age, you guarantee to be in this trap.
But the problem is, again, the person that's elected to, and all of us are men of whatever our beliefs are, but whatever book you read, whether the Bible or the Quran, it talks about the gatekeeper. The sheriff is the first gatekeeper of the county. And I have nothing against the young lady that's serving as the sheriff in DeKalb. But there are a lot of things that are happening on her watch that is not right. We're violating we're violating people's constitutional rights. You got young men that are in jail that are treated like the scum of the earth. And because you break the law, don't make you a bad person. You broke the law. And there are mechanisms in place to deal with you as such, but you shouldn't be treated less than subhuman. If you go to jail and you got a bond, why does it take you 2 days to get out of jail after your bond been paid? Or there's a brother over in Fulton County. Now, he ain't the best person in the world, but the man got a $1,500 bond. Which is $150 to get out of jail. The man can't make bond, and the public defender is defending him vigorously, and the judge won't. He's been in jail 483 days.
Wow.
Wait. 483 days.
That's
in
the
county. Wait, yeah,
hey, fellas, we're gonna have to come back and do a part 3, but I want to do this because we gotta give people some hope. And to the brother James, that we said the impact of the people showing up at that courtroom, I think they did move and motivate folk, not in a threatening manner, but showing people that people care. But in closing out, fellas, starting at the top, what's one thing that we can do to improve our chances of surviving in this system? And I'm gonna start with Brother Nate. I think he popping in, brother Dennis, you can come in there. What's one thing we can do to help ourselves, our families, and our communities when it comes down to this just us system? Just one thing.
I would say be real with them. Share your trials and tribulations. Be real with them. Let them know the consequences for their actions. Like I talked to my nephew about prison, but yet and still in one ear and out the other one. And cause like I said, I had did 6.5 years, but it didn't get through to him. But you keep talking to people, even if you get 1 out of 10, that's still 1 out of 10. He ended up going to prison, you know. So like I say, just talk to him. That's the only thing we can do. Be real with him, because like I said, the system isn't fair. I don't think it is gonna ever be fair. So we just got to do our part. We can't look at the president. We can't look at everybody else. We have to look in the mirror and be 100 with ourselves and know that it starts with us. Accountability. That's what I'm on right now. Like I said, I went to prison because I decided to sell drugs. December 8th make 10 years I've been free. I authored 2 books, nonprofit foundation. I work at Cisco, CDL driver. So, you just got to press on and know that, look, okay, I made a foolish mistake. Life goes on, dust yourself off. We all are capable of making mistakes, but we also all capable of getting up and righting our wrongs. So we just got to share our faults with people and let them know that it is a better way. I think that's it.
Okay. Brother Nate, closing out, is there anything you can share with the audience that we can do to increase our chances of surviving in this systematic just us system?
Okay.
I think we lost Brother Nate. Brother Ray.
Yeah, I love what the brother just said, the accountability piece. So to add to that, we need to become one block party. And what I mean by a block party is we all are doing different things, but we all need to come together under one umbrella and have, I would say, 4 cornerstones be prioritized amongst all of us. And however we fit in that paradigm is what we need to do. Say, for instance, we focus on family, economics, politics, and health. And those would be the 4 cornerstones, but we all come together and prioritize ourselves. So we have all of these groups, all these brothers doing wonderful things in the community. We need to come to a groundswell, connect, do the work, and become a voting block and advocate for our people. And when they see those numbers, we do the internal work with the accountability piece, but we also do the external work by forcing our representatives through vetting and grooming to advocate for us specifically.
Thank you there, Brother Ray. Brother Nate, in closing, I know you're trying to get in there. Where you want to leave with us? Got Brother Nate again. Brother Eric, can you hit us?
Yeah, I just want to say that what we can do is do our parts by being on the right side of the law in the first place, by doing the things that we can control, having our car insurance, having our driver's license be current, making sure that we stay out of the system as much as we can by choices that we can make and that we can control. Do our part by not being a part of the system from that side. Therefore, we can be more helpful to our community on the other side by keeping ourselves straight, by making sure that we can support the people in the community, being a part of our council meetings, be a part of our mayoral races, be a part of being a juror, just making sure that we're there. But if you got these records, you're not going to be a part of a lot of it. So make sure that you do your part and stay on the right side of the law first.
Accountability.
Thank you. Brother Leonard.
Hey, man, it's been great being involved. I want to introduce people to the CASA program, the CASA, the Court Appointed Special Advocate Program. It's an excellent program for people to get involved with. It's completely free. Most of your counties have them. And what this is it gives you're appointed by an actual judge to always advocate the best interests of our children who are in the system, whether it be due to neglect or these families just simply couldn't provide for them or what have you. And it's absolutely free. And they're always looking, especially for men of color, to get involved. You get just as much power, if not just a little bit less, than an actual social worker. and it's up to you to make sure that the best interest of that child is before the judge at all times. And I've been a part of this program and done a lot of work with them. And it's an excellent program for people to get involved. There's a training course that goes with it. So definitely go look them up, National CASA. You can look it up online. Find out if there's one in your area. You will not be disappointed at the authority given to you to help protect these children.
Thank you. And Brother Reggie,
Well,
one last tip.
Well, the first thing is that all of us are here. And I think this is the base that we have to have, and that we have to stop talking to the people that can't make decisions. So when our complaints go, our complaints need to go to the people that we elected. Our complaints should go to Labatt. Our complaints should go to Pounds in Douglasville. Our complaints should go to in Rockdale. We have to voice our complaints to the people that can make things happen for us. And as long as we're talking about it and not making them do the things that are absolutely necessary. And on a sidebar real quick, have you guys been through a roadblock before?
Yes.
Yep.
Do you know going through a roadblock is called a road safety check? And if you got your seatbelt on, the officer can't ask you for your ID or your insurance because it's a road safety check. And what they're checking for is to ensure that you're buckled in.
Wow. Good knowledge.
And they're violating your Fourth Amendment right if they ask you beyond that. So what I'm saying is that we right here, let's make a pact, gentlemen, that let's start meeting once a month. Let's go out here and beat the streets and get an organization of these young guys with their pants hanging off their butts. They got to vote. And if we educate them, us brothers who's been incarcerated, brother, and I'm so proud of you, man. I'm smiling, and that comes from here, brother.
Good
You
job.
understand what I'm saying? That you pulled yourself up right up out of that thing and became an entrepreneur, became an advocate. Hey, man, bro, I'm proud of you, brother, and I mean that from my heart. So we can reach, and what we got to do is start touching and changing lives, because when we show them that we got a group of us that's got 1,000 votes, they're gonna listen to us. When it's 1,000 of us, and when there's injustice happen, we show up, and whatever we choose to call the organization, we show up with our shirts on. No, we're not being disruptive. Right. This is a city street. We're just standing here.
Right. Hey, hold that thought. We're gonna come back. I want to get Brother Nate in here. I know you've been trying to log back in there, Brother Nate.
Brother Nate, if you cut off again, we gonna cut you off. You need to stay up.
Hey, Nate been like that lady with that bad internet, man.
Yeah. Okay. Give us a 30-second thing, real quick. What you want? Okay. What you want to see? What you doing?
Well, thanks for having me back. I would say, in fighting for young people in education, I'll be clear: Black boys and girls. There's a system in place to destroy them. And while we put things together, we have to understand, and I call names, Arthur Blank, Sam Marcel. There's a structure within Atlanta and most cities across this country that benefit from the failure of young Black boys and girls who grew up to be men, who become incarcerated. So that's accountability. It's not pointing the finger. And I know for a fact, that's why I had to take this case to the Supreme Court. So while we are building young people up, we have to destroy the systems that are set up to take them down. They don't like what this group right here, what we're talking about. And I tell you, I've been within the law, using the law to its max, and they want to ban me and keep me out. Here I am, feeding children during the summer, having programs for them, sitting in meetings. So we have to understand that there is a real enemy out there. Sometimes it looks just like us, but the main figure that we know is the one these puppet masters.
Right.
Some are white, some are Jews. Let's call it what it is. And when we're real with it and we point the enemy out clearly, then we stop gunning ourselves down, possibly.
And that's a good point. Thank you. Well, thank you, brothers. We're going to have to do a part 3. They said drummer won't stop. Well, America won't stop. We can't stop, baby. I mean, you know
Okay.
what? But to everybody,
And I'm willing to beat the street. I'm willing to beat the streets, do whatever. You know, that's what I've done before.
okay.
But whatever we need to do, I'm down for it.
I'm gonna make sure all you brothers get each other's number so we can, and I'm gonna contact you anyway after, maybe tomorrow, not tonight, but so we can coordinate. And to everybody out there, I think one voice at a time, no matter where you are or what you're doing, don't give up. Join and do something, whether it's with your family, your community. I'm gonna send this out real quick. Last little thing. This is the challenge we got because people doing all these challenges. One is to at least spend 1 hour a week with yourself, me, myself, and I. 2, drink at least 1 gallon of water a day. Number 3, walk, crawl, or hop at least a mile a day, because you ain't gonna be able to save a nation if you're out of shape. And number 4 is save at least $1 a day. And number 5 is to contact at least, and this over the next 100 days, at least 100 of your family members. And this is Reginal Drummer, the peopleologist, and welcome to another war session. And take care. And we will definitely see you at the top or from the top. And guess what? The view is just so clear from up here. So make it a great day. And like us over on Square Mile Media, Atlanta. We thank them for allowing us to be a contributing voice. So take care. Make it a great day.